Informa is a leading international event intelligence and scholarly research group listed on the London Stock Exchange, and it is one of the top 100 listed companies. We have more than 450 leading B2B exhibition brands, and CBME is one of them. So overall, CBME has 5 exhibitions every year, 3 in China and 2 in overseas. In China, our main show is in July. It's the world's biggest expo in baby and children products industry. In December, CBME Great Bay Area will be held in Shenzhen to help brands expand into Southern China and Southeast Asia. We hold High Innovation Week in Hangzhou every March to help brands expand new channels, especially online channels and boutique stores. Except the exhibitions, we also have online platform and conferences, activities throughout the year to help connect the industry. So why CBME can organize so many exhibitions and activities? It's because the 24 years of the industry experience, we have accumulated massive resources. We have the largest industry database, including retailers, agents, online sellers. Total, we covered more than 40 category channels. And we also connect with more than 1,900 big buyers closely from online to offline. We have buyer community of more than 100,000 buyer group, which allows us to maintain closer communication with everyone. So this year, CBME China will be held at NECC Shanghai from 17th to 19th July. CBME China is the world's largest children, baby, and maternity expo with the most comprehensive category, different with other shows around the world. Our product category include baby and kids wear, shoes and accessories, mother and baby care products, food supplements, toys, strollers, car seats, and furniture, as well as children's education. The children's wear sector covers a total exhibition area of more than 400 square meters, with an expected participation of 600 brands. It is also recognized as the largest children's wear exhibition in Asia. So at kids wear section of CBME China, we also have a themed exhibition zone called Cool Kids Fashion, which mainly showcases overseas brands alongside domestic brands distinguished by their design, sensibility, and unique features. This year, we will also collaborate with the Little Red Book, a famous platform in China, and also Mercado Infant China. It's a famous fashion media in our Cool Kids Fashion. So next, I will share some information about China's children and baby market. China's economy have recovered steadily after the epidemic and will become an important driving factor for global growth. China's GDP growth rate in 2023 is 5.2% and 5.3% in the first quarter of 2024. Leading the global average GDP growth rate of 2.2 in 2023. In a survey of consumer confidence in various countries about the country's post-epidemic economy recovery, around half of Chinese consumers were optimistic, far exceeding 26% of the United States and 11% of Japan. In 2023, China's import and export of goods trade was better than expected. China's total import and export value was more than 41 trillion RMB. China's cross-border e-commerce import and export has a year-on-year increase of more than 15%. After the epidemic, China's economy is still growing steadily and consumption continue to increase. As residents' income increase, Chinese families are more willing to invest in their children. They spend more than 30% of their monthly consumption expenditure on their children. The consumption scale of China's baby and children market expected to exceed 4 trillion RMB in both 2023 and 2024. The annual per capita disposable income exceed 40,000 RMB. Around 30% of the expenditure of 90s and 95s parents are spent for their children. The Chinese baby, so let's move to the maybe we always will concern about the newborn. Although the newborn of the China has declined, but compared with other countries, it is still very large. There are 9.2 million newborns in China in 2023, and it is projected that the newborn population may have increased in 2024. So, of course, more and more companies and channels are also shifting their focus from the 0 to 3 age group to the 0 to 12 age group, targeting the consumer market that spans from babies to children. This is because there are a population of nearly 200 million, and the demands for consumption among those aged 0 to 12 is also the core that more brands and channels are vying for in the market. Additionally, consumer spend on parenting continues to rise. The chart on the far right indicates that in the 2023 consumer survey, more than 52% of the consumer reported an increase in their expenditure on parenting. So let's look at the kidswear market in China, which is also experiencing continuous growth. It is expected to reach 43 million RMB by 2024. Additionally, the market concentration in China's kidswear market is low, with the top 5 children's clothing brands accounting for only 12.1%, which is lower than in other countries. At the same time, considering the overall spending on parents' goods by Chinese consumers, kidswear and shoes represent the largest share at 38%. This number is from the 3 major e-commerce platforms, include Tmall, Taobao, TikTok, and JD. So the category of the kidswear are rich and diverse, and the performance of each category varies. Looking at the last year's data, many categories have grown rapidly, such as outdoor clothing and children's underwear. Of course, there are also categories that are declining, such as down jackets and coats. So next, we have summarized some keywords for new generation of moms' purchase motivations for kidswear. The first is the segmentation of scenarios. With the segmentation of consumer groups and scenarios, we have also seen significant growth in many children's clothing categories. For example, outdoor clothing for children has increased by 68%, children's performance wear by 15%, and children's swimwear by 21%, among others. Second is trusting in technology. In recent years, many technological fabrics with different keywords, such as skin-friendly, stretchable, and easy to clean, have been launched and have also been very received by consumers. 82% of the consumer willing to choose them. Third, the polarization. The consumption trend in China has evolved from an olive-shaped to the M-shaped consumer society. Presenting the polarization, the consumption of high-end groups has not been affected, while the mass market trend to favor products with a higher cost performance ratio. Mass products are mainly priced under 100 yuan RMB, but high-end products such as those above $100 are still growing rapidly. This has barely no impact on the sales of overseas brands that are originally positioned in the mid to high-end segment in Chinese market. So fourth is the emphasis on appearance of the, fourth is the emphasis of appearance. 46% of the mothers are willing to invest more and more time to money to dress their children more fashionable and also hope for more individuality. The fifth is IP co-branding. Chinese consumers are still very receptive to kidswear with IP co-branding. Nearly 91% of consumers willing to pay a premium of up to 30% for their favorite IPs. So next, let's move to the shopping channel. There are several features in China. The first one, the channels are very dispersed. CBME has divided our buyer types into more than 40 categories. And second, offline channel is still the largest channel for baby and children products. Although the internet developed steadily in China, but overall, the proportion of offline in all baby and children related category is still much greater than online, with 64% offline and 36% online. But nowadays, there is no clear boundary between online and offline. Many offline retailers also use various online platforms and tools to do online marketing and sales. Some of online retailers will have more than 30% of the sales from online. So let's take a look at what the main channels related to the kidswear sales are. From offline channels, for mass market, children's clothing is suitable to be sold in baby stores, children's clothing store, and supermarkets. Mid to high-end children's clothing is more suitable for sales in boutique store and specialty stores, department stores, and shopping malls. For online, the main platform are Taobao, Tmall, TikTok, the Little Red Book, WeChat, among others. There are many specialized stores on Taobao that sell high-end children's clothing, and there are also many sellers or KOLs on platforms like the Little Red Book, TikTok, and Tmall are also suitable for overseas brands. Whether it's online or offline channels, they are all buyers invited to CBME China. So last but not least, here are some suggestions for overseas brands looking to enter the Chinese market. The first of all, have a clear positioning for your brands. You should identify your product's niche in the Chinese market and pinpoint your primary target consumers. Second, understand the market. Identifying the unique selling point of your products, analyzing competitors, and understanding consumer preferences. Thirdly, find a good partner. Typically, overseas brand will seek out suitable distributors to expand their business in China. CBME China is an excellent event that facilitated connections between brands and potential partners interested in your brands. This year, we also have specially organized a business matchmaking for overseas brands, aimed to connecting them with precise buyers, including agents, distributors, big retailers, and online buyers who are interested in cooperating with overseas brands. So, So the last one is be patient. While it is true that China's population is still large, and the economy and income are continue to rise, as well as a highly diversified range of the distribution of China's, and the market remains vastly differentiated. This is evident not only across different regions, but also between urban and rural areas and among distinct income groups. Consequently, not every consumer or market is apt for overseas brands. And also, this is an intensely competitive market with no less than 4,500 brands exhibiting at CBME China alone. So be patient, do not be greedy, take a small slice first. So, okay, that's all my sharing. Lastly, we sincerely invite you to participate in CBME China 2024 to help you quickly expand into the Chinese market. If you are interested, you can contact with us or Eduardo at any time. Thank you for your listening. So that's all my sharing. So next, let me introduce. We will have pleasure to inviting Winston from Shanghai Baby, one of the most experienced major kidswear agents in China, to share their advice on kidswear brands entering the Chinese market. Let's welcome Winston.
Thank you, Celia. Thank you, the organizer, ladies and gentlemen. Let me share. Could you hear me right? Let me share with the screen with the target with everybody else.
Winston, if you need my help, oh, you can do that.
Let me try it first. Yeah, could you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I guess. Sorry. So thank you very much, Celia. Thank you for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning and good afternoon. So I would like to extend my gratitude to the organizers, the Milana from CENIT, Celia, Alina, and Eduardo from Informal Markets, to give me the opportunity to introduce our view of the international kidswear market in China from the distributor and agent's perspective. So our company's name is Junlan, with our showroom name of Shanghai Baby. Is one of the largest distributors for international kids designers brands in Greater China, representing right now about 40+ brands, mostly from Europe. We are also the first company to introduce and run the agency business model in Greater China for the international kids designers brands since 2014. So today, I'm going to cover about 4 topics. The first is the quick snapshot of the evolution of the international
Sorry,
kids.
Winston. Sorry, Winston,
Yes.
we can only see your first page. So probably let me show my screen so I can help you to present the PPT, because now
right,
we can only see your first page. Okay,
Yeah,
let
maybe
me
you can help me to share the slides. Now I'm turning into the second page.
Yes, yes. Okay, tell me
Or the second one.
tell me which page. Okay.
Yeah, with the number on the right bottom, you can see the number, right bottom of the presentation of the PPT slide. You can show the number of the slides in the right bottom. Yeah, this one, yes.
Okay, okay.
All right. Yeah, today we'll be covering about 4 topics. A quick snapshot of the evolution of the international kidswear market, a designers brand, kidswear designers brand in China. And then followed with the implication of the recent macroeconomic and consumer preferences to the international kids designers market. Then we will be talking a little bit about how we could actively face the challenges if a brand is intending to enter into the Chinese market. And then I will give you a 1 or 2 minutes to introduce ourselves. Next slide, please. Right. I think Celia has mentioned a lot about the market, the kidswear market in China. I'm right now talk a little bit about the international kids designers market in China. So based upon our analysis, mainly from the Euromonitor, the China kidswear market represents about 16% of the global market, with a value of 30.7 billion euro in retail. So China market, kidswear market is a growing and promising market. When we look at compound annual growth rate, so we will have the compound annual growth rate from 2017 to 2021 of 9.9%, and we estimated a compound annual growth rate from 2022 to 2027, 9.8%. We had a setback in 2022, mainly resulted from 2022. We had a minus 6.5% decrease versus that of 2021. Sorry, this is mainly resulted by the COVID prevention policies carried out in 2022, with huge lockdown, a few rounds of lockdowns, and the medium and high end is where we think the international kids designers brands is targeted in China. The medium and high end market represented about 36%, with a value of 11.1 billion in retail in 2022. So that we translated into a wholesale value of around 3.7 billion euros. The next page, please. First, I would like to give you a few words regarding our view of the current market. It is promising, but with cautious. So we both have challenges and opportunities. So when we look at the challenges, the post-COVID, since Q1 and Q2 2023, we have the lower consumer confidence index reflected by the high rocketed household savings. I just want us to explain in my number, I think is exactly aligned with what Celia is showing, but really with a different perspective to give brand the both sides to think, the challenges as well as the opportunities. I'm talking about the lower consumer confidence index and the staggering consumer spendings lower than expected, and the lower than expected CPI numbers and its changes and etc. And the competition is even more fiercer. So more brands are competing in China since 2019. When I remember when the first time we do the business in 2014, there were about, let's say, 20 plus 25 international kids designers brands are competing in China. Right now, the number, I do not have exactly the accurate number, but I think it's over 250, something like that. So it's about 10 times right now, comparing with that in 2024. When we look at the opportunities we have in China with the largest amount of middle-class households, across the globe. And now we have the government that's carrying out policies to stimulate the economy. For instance, like free visa policy. In Europe, there are a number of countries, they are free to travel to China without a visa. We've seen the changes, dynamics of the retail channels. We've seen the online within, so the decrease of Taobao sales started from 3 to 4 seasons ago online, and we see the increase of the sales from the Little Red Book. And we've seen the fiercer e-commerce platform competition. And in addition to Taobao, now we've seen the PTT, Pinduoduo, KTT, Kuaituantuan, and so on and so forth. And also we've seen the evolution of the buying behavior of large-scale mom and baby stores. I think Jingwen, who is another guest, who will share us of her perspective of the evolution of differences of buying drivers of this international kids designers market. And also the implementation of O2O. I think Cecilia has mentioned about there is not a clear line between the online and offline. A lot of stores, they're going from offline to online and vice versa. The next page, please. Hello, Alina, the next page, please. Yeah, this slide shows the evolution of both online and total China consumer goods and retail sales. So in China, so before we touch that, I just mentioned a little bit about the Chinese consumer market. The Chinese consumer market is the largest in the world in terms of the PPP, with 48.5% higher than that of the US in 2023, based on the International Monetary Fund data. China is about, in absolute value, US dollar value, China is about 80.3% of that of the US in 2023. The number in 2021 used to be 95%. The China consumer goods market used to be 95% of that of the US. The such decrease from 2021 to 2023 is not because of the GDP growth. It's simply because of the US dollar currency appreciation and the inflation in the US. So it is still very promising, even the numbers have been decreased. The online sales for consumer goods in China accounted for about 28% of the total consumer goods retail sales in 2023, whereas the number in the US was 12.5% in 2022, which means the online sales of consumer goods is far more than robust than the United States. The next slide, please. So when we talk about kids wear online, it's about 37% around our estimation. 37% on the kids wear market is coming from online. So this is the 2023 Double 11 sales data, the largest retail promotion day in the world. So in 2023, we've seen a 2% growth. It's quite limited, comparing with the growth from 2022 to 2021, which was about 11.5% roughly. But the mom and baby sector in 2023, we've decreased 3% versus that of in 2022. So the key takeaways are, the first, the consumer spent smartly and cautiously through various channels and occasions for discounts due to macroeconomic situation and challenges. The second is more brands, including domestic and international, are competing with each other in China, as Celia has mentioned about the intensively competitive market. And the third is the rising of the live stream e-commerce from retailers. When we look at the graphic, we've seen a 19% growth in 2023 versus 2022 from the live stream e-commerce. So whereas for the traditional e-commerce, we've seen a 1% decrease from 2022 to 2023 to 2022. The next slide, please, Alina. All right, page 7. Okay, yeah. Now we would like to talk a little bit about the macroeconomic and the consumer preferences implications to the international kids wear market in China. The next slide, please. The consumer confidence, when we look at the data, we've seen the consumer confidence index hit low in February 2024. February 2024 decreased 2.5% versus that in September 2023. 2024 February data is not the lowest. It's going to be flat, it's recovering, but it's still at a low point. The household savings increased quite significantly, implicating that consumers feel not safe of the future. They just do not want to spend. They do not have the confidence to spend. And CPI numbers are low and has been staggering for a few months, which is also an indication of how of the lower spending of consumer goods. The government has carried out a series of policies to stimulate the economy, including lowering the prime interest rate, they encourage the import and export, and etc. Thus, we conclude that the economy and the consumption recovery would take some time, though it is optimistic. The next slide, please. Now we touch a little bit about consumer trends in 2023. So we've seen some positive signs. This findings is from McKinsey report of 2023 China Consumer Report. The China is the country with the largest number of middle-class households. The number has been growing steadily and continuously. The growing demand in high-end products, but consumers buy smartly. They selected channels, discounts through video streaming, e-commerce, and etc. The other findings are the product quality, the brand awareness are becoming even more important, and foreign brands are still very attractive. The next slide, please. This is the findings also from McKinsey published in November 2023 regarding the change of the numbers of the upper middle class and high income household in China in 2022. The upper middle high-end household represented about 41% of total urban household, hitting 148 million households. And in 2025, the number is expected to be 52% of total urban household and hitting 200 million households. This further indicates that the market is becoming more attractive with the further growth of the Chinese economy. So we think with such growth, the international brand enjoys as long as competitive advantages exist. Thus, the majority of the business sectors, I think, are in favor of the globalization instead of deglobalization and anti-globalization. The next slide, please. Yeah, so I just will spend 1 or 2 minutes to talk about the evolution of the international kids designers market in China and how the changes, how the changing macroeconomics and the consumer preferences affecting such market. Now we will be talking about how we are going to respond to the former changes, the former changing dynamics of the international kids designers brands market in China, if a brand owner decides to enter into China. As a market, the retail channels, the consumer preferences evolve continuously over time. The brand owners is required to review constantly with the right partner on a regular basis in order to deploy necessary resources and execute accordingly. So the brand building particularly the social media. And for the international kids designers brands, I would think that targeted audience are mainly existed from the Little Red Book. It is crucial in building brand awareness in China as competition grows and become fiercer. So I recall that when the first time from 2020, when first time we engaged in the business from 2024 through 2029, we never asked a brand to do the social media. But right now it's just totally different. The situation changes a lot. And early, when we talk about supply chain, the early shipment for early selling and local shipment would be very much important to win over the competition here in China for the international kids designers brand. As I understand, you have your supply chain across Europe and somewhere in Asia. So this conclusion is really we experienced and concluded from the brands we are representing right now. Alina, next slide, please. When we recommend and talk about strategy for growth, it is always a win-win-win situation among the brand owners, the distributors or agents, and the retailers. We've touched the channel development. We talk about the social media operation. With no doubt, the product and product design itself, it's the fundamental thing to win in every market, including China. Each market has its preferences over design and the associated price level they can offer to the consumer. We've seen and experienced both successful and unsuccessful stories for brand owners in China for such factor. The trademark registration is important before a series of massive activities are being rolled out in China from the brand owner's perspective. So is it for compliance in terms of labeling requirements, the quality requirements, mainly the fabric testing, and other retail requirements. Such, if we would like to do so, such are all tied up with cost, implicating things could be done on a gradual basis, as Celia has mentioned, of do it in slides, not in one time. We don't need to do everything in a sudden, but achieve a balance between compliance and cost. So this is our recommendation as well. The next slide, please. So last but not least, I just want to spend a minute to just introduce ourselves. The next slide, please. Junlan brand development with the brand name of a Shanghai Baby as our name of showroom is one of the largest, as I mentioned earlier, distributors agency for international kids designers brands in China in terms of the number of brands carried and the space of the showroom. Junlan is also the first to introduce and run the agency business model for international kids designers brands in China mainland since 2014. Right now, we are representing about 40 brands as the exclusive distributor or agency in Greater China. Majority of the brands we represent are coming from Europe, covering different design code, the age range, also with products ranging from fashion clothing, shoes, accessories, and lifestyle products. We have a team with cross-cultural academic and working experiences in Europe and North America. The business we cover right now is distribution, agent, and other business consulting services, including social media and operation. So I also have a few other slides. I don't want to talk about too much, because if you're interested, then you can, Alina, you can rolling for the slides until the last to understand more of us. Who are the team members and what are the experiences we have and our contact information as well. So thank you very much for all of you to listen to my presentation. Now I would like to hand it over to Jingwen, the founder and general manager of Cowbook.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for the presentation I'm from Winston, and thank you for Celia. Thank you for Elena. And actually, I don't have many China's consumption data and about kids wear data. I don't have so many data. I only have from Cowbook data. So let's start our PPT. Yeah, okay. Cowbook was founded in 2016, and it has been almost 10 years now. At first, I studied in the UK from 2011 to 2014. And at that time, I started to work as a purchasing agent. It means I buy baby's food and buy stuff from the UK and then sell it to China. Because of this, I accumulate my first group of original customer. And then when I back to China, I founded my own brand called Cowbook. And this is you can see the picture. This is our store. And next one. Cowbook's targeting high-landed groups of customers, like worldwide high-quality products and brands, and then recommended to mothers all over the China. But we only aims to the people who is high-ended, because China have so many, the population is so large, so we only aims to the high-ended people. Our customers are only not limited to local customer, but also to the parents all over the country through the TikTok and small red book. So we have large number of customers. Through the trust set by people, many customers who have never met each other, but they can spend about 100,000 yuan a year here. And the customer who consume the most can spend more than 200,000 yuan a year. And this is the picture of our store. Yeah, next one. We have high standards for the decoration and the selection of our store. In October last year, we spent 2 million yuan to redecorate our store, and which has been opened for 6 years. So this is our new store, and it has become a benchmark store in our country, and many people will visit our store. Before the epidemic, the highest turnover of our single store was 6 million yuan, and different from other store, 70% of the consumption is from the online. With very high stickiness. However, after the epidemic, it did decline. One reason is the overall consumption levels has been decreased, and the second reason is that the number of new customer is sharply decreasing. So we don't have many newborn customers. Next one. So from last year, we began to focus on new customer program, how to attract these high-ended customers to know about our Cowbook, how to face the country to attract some high-ended people. It drive us crazy to think about a good way to get this new customer. Then we find a good way, which is the overseas brand clothing. Because the population in China is too large, I cannot do business with all the people. What I want to do is only high-ended people. So it is a good way to screen customer by products. And some overseas brands are of high appearance level and high quality. And many of them are organic cotton, which are very popular in Instagram. Mothers who like this kind of people are really high quality people with brand concept and pursuit of life. So last year we focused on clothing. And at end of last year, we went to Italy to join the children's fashion exhibition called Pitti Bimbo with wisdom, and to learn more about the overseas kids fashion. Oh, okay, next one. Now we have cooperation with many foreign brands such as Milk Bar, Mama, Organic Zoo, Vec, Benny Benny, and Play Up, Emily Ida, Petit Piao, and that's mine. Between them, Milk Bar is our best seller, and many parents in China know this brand and will spend this brand. Yeah, okay. There are two brands I particularly like. One is Organic Zoo with the moon pattern. I have here. This is this one. It is a British brand made of organic cotton. It was very popular in Instagram also. I did not expect that. I ordered 30,000 yuan of this product for the first time, and it was sold out within a few days after the arrival of the product. And I immediately made up 3 again, which was really easy to sell, although the unit price was not low. And the Vec is the same. It is a Denmark brand, and their cottons are very popular. Parents who know this brand will place an order when they see it available. And yesterday, a brand from Shanghai Baby called Play Up arrived our store, and it's still really good yesterday and today. Okay, next one. And now we cooperate with Shanghai Baby, and it's the most, probably near 10 brands. I think the agent is too good for me. I don't have to spend too much time to choose this overseas brand, and their eyes for so many years in the clothing in the kids wear field can help us make a better and a quick decision. It helps us to reduce a lot of work to choosing all this brand, and in this way we can just follow Shanghai Baby to place order, which makes me feel easy to do this. In the future, I hope to receive more fashion overseas clothing brand with high appearance level and high quality to enter China. And it is better to have those brands that are already popular abroad and already popular in Instagram. Such brands are easy to make a quick exit in China. And we can also take advantage of this opportunity to do better promotion and marketing. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank all of you. It was very, very interesting to know all this different approaches to the market, all this impressive information about China and how kids wear brands and consumption in China. So now we start a Q&A. So if anyone has any questions to address to our guests in China, please do so. Eduardo, you want to say something?
I want to say something before the Q&A, and it is also a very little tip, but I mean very useful, because any company who wants to enter China and to, they plan a serious business, number one, please register your brand and your logo type, because the protection that you get all over the world, it's not active in China, it's not valid in China. You have to apply specifically for China. So because we also have seen, not very many, but a handful of customers who went to sell in China, then phoned someone who had already registered their own brand. So please do it. I mean, this is a very smart tip. I mean, not because I'm very smart, but it's a smart tip for you to do.
Verdade. This is true. It's a very, very important tip for all the Portuguese brands. We had over 30 people signing in for this webinar. Not all of them are here, but we will share this presentation and all the contacts with the brands. Celia, Alina, Winston, and Jingwen, thank you for all your insights. So I'm not sure if anyone here wants to address a question to someone specifically. No, I guess everyone is very.
Well, they can also, Marlene, they can also send us an email. I mean, if everybody wants a more private or more confidential question or something, is totally fine. We will revert the question to either Winston, Celia, or Jingwen, and we will reply with no problem at all. And if they need some tips and any additional assistance, we will do that on an email. No worries.
Yes, that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to share with all the people that registered for this webinar. We're going to share this presentation and ask each one of them if they have any questions or any additional information they would like to get about the show, because it's in July. Celia, I believe that applications are still accepted at this time.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes. I'm not sure how the floor is divided. If there is probably there's a baby wear section or not, or a national part. Oh, I don't know if brands are organized by country or by product. Can you please tell us a little more?
Yeah, but Celia, do you?
Okay.
Yeah, because normally what we do when we receive premium foreign brands in the show, we tend to include them in a section called Cool Kids Fashion, which is our premium area. You know, with a how can I say a good, I mean, of course, a shell scheme, everything included. They only have to bring the product, and then we do a nicely design stand in a very curated area. The neighbors are also either premium brands from Europe or also premium brands in the design segment from China. So there's a specific section called Cool Kids. Yes. So if anyone is interested, we can of course send the visuals of the section, the features, etc. But it is important in something that Celia mentioned, and I think it's very useful, is that we organize the matchmaking business, meetings, so that between, of course, because it's a very important step, is to have a local agent or local distributor. This is a top priority. So we make those matchmaking meetings on site for all our participants.
Okay.
And another information that the Cool Kids Fashion area for this year is in our international hall. So yeah, it's all overseas brands can together. Yeah, especially except the big, just like the brand, they want to need a big big space. So they will still choose in the other halls, because total we will have 12 halls. Yeah. Separate in different categories, but we will have international hall and combined with the Cool Kids Fashion. So for the kids fashion from the international, I think it's the best choice in our Cool Kids Fashion area. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we can call it over, this session. I appreciate all of you for being here, especially our Chinese friends and Eduardo as well, and all the Portuguese brands here. And we look forward to seeing everyone in July in Shanghai. And I wish all of you a great success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.